Ok. ¿Sí? Perfecto. Ok. Bueno, como mi compañera comentó, mi nombre es Alexis Sánchez. Tengo, digamos, ya un par de años en la industria del software y en los últimos 4 años me he especializado en la industria de los vehículos eléctricos. Y atención, digo vehículos, y esto es algo muy importante para lo que vamos a hablar. Un poco quién soy yo. Siempre digo mi primera presentación, soy el padre de Ainhoa. Lo siento, this should be in English or in Spanish? I don't remember. Spanish, English. Yo le estaba I prepare in English, but English, someone doesn't understand Spanish? Español, español, English is the same for me, exactly. No, well, let's do it in English because I remember everything in English. If I use Spanish, I will probably make some mistakes. So, let's take a opportunity because we are just a small group. Okay, my presentation. My first presentation is I am the father of Ainhoa. She's the person why I do all this, trying to make a better world for her. More than 25 years as software engineers, 4 years in the e-mobility industry, and open hardware enthusiast. Question. Was the Tesla Roadster the first EV? Who say yes? No one. Okay, cool. Raise your hand if you think EVs have been here for longer than 5 years. Lower your hand if you disagree. More than 10. More than 20. More than 30. More than 50. More than 60. More than 75. More than 100. More than 125. More than 150. More than 195 years. In 1928 was the first documented EV. 1828. Small prototype, something really, really, really small, was the first documented EV. There are some debate between 1828, 1835, but to be fair honest, 195, 185, yeah, probably don't care too much right now. Just some examples. This is just to set the baseline. This is Thomas Baker, 1984, commercial EV. 1903, Thomas Edison, Studebaker Electric. 1903. 1967, Renault March II. Something interesting, in 2017, the EV market got 1% of the global share, which is awesome. In 2020, 75% of the EV which were sold in the Norwegian region were electric. 3 out of 4 cars. I don't know if you have been in San Francisco, but you only can see EVs. There's basically no petrol stations there. That moment we are. But we talk about, that was say electric vehicles, because usually we think about cars. But no, not just that. We have buses, tractors, we have sails, we have boats, we have airplanes. And they all work with exactly the same technology, same protocols. I have to say, in behalf of the EV community, we deeply apologize. Charge your vehicle should be simple and easy as is to charge your laptop and your phone. It should be. Believe me, it should be. Sadly, we made a couple of mistakes in the way, and it's now a little bit complex. The biggest EV problem have been really old or close companies playing in a global game. That have been the biggest challenge, have been the biggest mistakes in the EV industry. Why? Because all these companies say, I can do it better. And we all hear that at one point in our life. You know what? I can do it better. This protocol, I can do it better. This system, I can do it better. And everything, all of them say, I can do it better. I want to take the market share. I wanted to only populate with my proprietary system, with only I know, only my customers can use it. And you know what? Some problems happen. Just a side note, like 25 years ago in the Netherlands, they have a problem because many companies started to create charge stations. Every month there was a new one. And every other month, 2 of them disappear. So what ended having is the government was putting a lot of money in these companies to promote electrification and EV, and let's go green. And these companies disappear, and you end with a charge station dead. No one knows how to use it. No one understood the protocol. No one understood how to communicate with other companies. Close and old companies tend to have this problem. And this is where we started to think, we can do it better. We really, really can do it better. Many of the problems, closed protocols. This is NACS. This is the protocol for Tesla. Only Tesla can use it. They now, since the last year, started to operate in the US, solidly in the US, with some car manufacturers to let them to use. However, we know it's not going to happen properly. Why? Because this charge station, this cable, only support a certain amount of kilowatts than big trucks. It's not going to happen. That's why here in Europe we have more regulations, and we are focusing CCS2. Okay? Some people are focusing for CHAdeMO. The protocols that if you have an EV, if you saw EV, you will see this type of connectors in your cars. Well, the problem, I always laugh with this. We have 14 competition standards. We have this problem. We don't know. Come on, we have to figure out something better. We have to do something different. Let's create a brand new protocol that will be universal. 2 months later, you have 15 protocols competing one with each other. This story repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. Some days this has to stop. In the community, we started to think about what we can do. In the open source community, what can we do in order to improve this? In order to make the experience of the EV industry much better, much friendly, and useful for everyone. We realized that we didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Let's look at the open source community. We know that for a company, it's really, really, really too complex for a single company to develop a full software stack. It's extremely complex and extremely difficult. It's too expensive as well. For a company to develop everything, it also costs a lot of money. It's hardware, it's software, it's infrastructure. There's so many elements. And you have multiple manufacturers, you have multiple car manufacturers that all develop something different. One company is just impossible. One single entity is just impossible. And we cannot wait for an ISO regulation, ECS. That takes years. We have to do something. As a community, we have to do something. We have to embrace this and say, look at other industry and learn from them. Embracing the spirit of the open source community. Issues. We started to prolify. Okay, what are our major problems? A lot of assets, charge station, ready on the ground, with closed solution, no interoperability. What can we do? Major manufacturers, Tesla, one example. Create closed solution only my company can use. And customer really don't have the experience and the freedom, because freedom of the data, control your information. Be sure that your information is private, that you are the owner of your information, that you can call the information, you know what is happening with your data. Let's be clear. In the EV industry, we know a lot about you. We can figure out where you go when you go on holidays. What is your traffic? We can get information about your expenses. We can get information about your car. We can profile you based on the car that you have. That is sensitive information. It's critical information. You should be the owner of that. We cannot let companies get my data and sell to someone. It just can't be. We have to fight against that. Enter the Linux Foundation. We all know the Linux. Who doesn't know the Linux Foundation? Have no clue about the Linux Foundation? We all know that. We are here because we know about the Linux Foundation. The Linux Foundation took this problem so serious that they create, one slide disappeared. Linux Foundation Energy. Actually, I share with some of you some stickers. And all of them say Linux Foundation Energy. It's a specific chapter of the Linux Foundation just focused in energy providers. What we get from the Linux Foundation? Linux Foundation analyzed something. 80% or 90% of the modern software is inspired or use open source solution. 80 or 90% of the modern software, the software that you are writing in your companies, probably 80 or 90% is open source. Infrastructure, Terraform, languages, name it. 80 or 90%. So we have to really care, we have to look into that. Open source library, 10% in average custom code, or have a reference on this. Sorry, that's different. So that's why we create Linux Foundation Energy, a specific charter for address this. Linux Foundation Energy promote and provide accurate support to create systems that will help us to end the electrification of our world. A system and tools that will help us to go one step further, ensuring interoperability and to get the software one level further, faster, because we know that one company can't make it and can deliver the quality that we can commit as a community, as a global entity. EV ecosystem is not just vehicles and chargers. It's not just cars and chargers, airplanes and chargers. It's a little bit more than that. In the EV ecosystem, you have EV manufacturers, cars manufacturers. You have charge station manufacturers, the people who create the charge points. You have the charge point operators. You have the mobility service providers, which is the company who provide the accounts. You have the payment providers. You have the grid operators. You have the energy companies. All of them are involved when you decide that I want to plug my charge. All of these companies, all of these actors have to synchronize in order to let you charge. Because if we don't include grid operators or energy companies, as soon as you plug your car, probably you can live without power 1 block for the energy that you are consuming. You have to balance that. You have to understand, you have to manage the data. You have to synchronize all the charge stations that are, all of them have to play in a really beautiful and complex dance. Have to be there, have to execute it perfectly. And believe me, that is hard, but it's not impossible. In the Linux Foundation Energy, this is just one small example about the projects that we have. We have right now 57 projects working and I think 15 in incubators. Projects that fully dedicate for the EV industry. we have the Battery Data Alliance. One specific entity that take care that we can capture the data of your battery and provide and create more better batteries for tomorrow. You know why EVs, even they were created, as I mentioned at the beginning, almost 2 centuries ago, were not publicly accessible, or not really something realistic? Batteries. Simple as that. The battery management has been terrible over the years. It's in my point of view, it's one of the major problems that we have as an industry right now, as a modern society. The technology that we use to develop batteries, the progress has been quite hard, to be fair honest. We tend to improve, because it's so hard to improve batteries, we improve processors. We try to have the same amount, the same quality of the battery, and try to consume less and less and less, but the battery is still the same. And we have a specific team dedicated solely to gather data from batteries in order for tomorrow improve that ecosystem. That will lead to improvement even for your smartphone, even for your watch. The Linux Foundation is taking care of that. We have many others. We have Olive Grip, which is taking care of how we manage power station grids. We have, let me see, we have Everest, we will talk about that. We have Citrix OS, and we have other ones. Again, it's a full new chapter. It's not that new, have been like 7 years ago, have been created. So it's not that new. Not many people know about that, but it's open and it's public. And you can just go today, Linux Foundation Energy, and go to any of the chapters of the Linux Foundation Energy, and go and see the projects. We will talk a little bit about them, but this information is there. And believe me, you can learn a lot from there. I want to talk about a couple of projects that are related in this ecosystem. MIF is a project created in France. It's a CSMS, Charge Station Management System, fully open source. But Alexis, what is a CSMS? CSMS is the project that control between the charge station, get information from the charge station, and send to the operators. Take care of the payments, take care of the power management, take care of multiple aspects. There are multiple protocols that have to be taken care. OCPI, Open Charge Protocol Interface, OCPP, Open Charge Point Protocol, OCSP, OICP, and many others that take care of something particular. A CSMS is taking care of all that connection. You can come tomorrow and have your own CSMS. This CSMS, MIF, I think I don't put the GitHub link, is written in Go. If you like Golang, go there and check, because the code is really well written. And actually, I like Golang right now. There are a couple of things that I get from there, like cool, generics. I don't know if any of you play with Golang. Generics have been for me a major problem in Golang. How they implemented here helped me to understand more. And this is why open source is so important. Because even if I don't care about EVs, checking these projects can take me to the next level. And I can contribute into something. But, Alexis, I want to go deeper. This marketing, business, CPO, CSMS, I really just don't care too much. I want to go more to the inside of the protocols. I really want to go there and see what is in the EV industry. We have Citrix OS. Citrix OS is an OCPP proxy written in TypeScript. I don't like TypeScript so much, but it's a TypeScript. And it's open. If you wanted to start to get and create your own CSMS, create your product, go to the next level, create an industry, create your product based on the EV industry, check here. E-certificate. Have all the validation, which is, believe me, is extremely complex. And this is one of the things why so many companies fail to jump into the EV industry, because they all say, I can do it better. And believe me, create a protocol, a software that supports the OCPP protocol is not an easy task. CTOS, full certificate by the Open Charge Alliance. And it's there. Use it. It's in TypeScript. Communication between the core and the vehicle, WebSockets, secure, simple, easy, and you can create your software on top. If you want to start the AV industry, this is your call. The AV industry needs people who wants to work, wants to consume. Alexis, I want to go more. I want to go more and more and more in detail. I want to know what is in the charger specifically there. Everest, created by a company called Pionix in Germany. It's a company, and they provide the software completely open source, fully. This is the software that is in the charge station itself, inside. Then take care of all the protocols, all the communication is there. It's open source. If you want tomorrow get a Raspberry, and connect to your charge, check here. We have even demos. If you want to play, we even give you all the tools. Raspberry, connect, and you will be full certificated and full automated. Can be done. And it's there. Use it. Consume it. Play. Do something with this. We are looking forward for you. We are giving you this. Why this is important? Remember what I told you before about all these companies that CPOs that create, have a business, 200 chargers, and tomorrow disappear. This happened multiple times. Few days ago, one manufacturer, Tritium, one of the biggest one in Europe, filed bankruptcy. In statistics, we should have today more than 200,000 chargers dead in the streets of Europe only. They are just there. No one knows. No one can manage them. It's just, and we put money from the European Union. Hey, take it, create this, we support you, we give you money. The companies file bankruptcy. No one uses it. No one can support them. What we are going to do for that? Learning from our mistakes in the US, the Joint Office of Energy and Transportation, they pick Everest as the mandatory software to should exist in all the charge stations. It's mandatory. If you want to get the green light from them, use Everest. Simple. They say, we don't play around. This is our money, this costs money. You have to use Everest to ensure interoperability. If tomorrow your charger dies, we know how to take it. We can do something with that. And the best part, for example, happened, we have this conversation last week. There is a new connector. It's not new, it's quite old, but it's coming to Europe more and more. It's from Chinese and Japan, they're using called GBT. And what is happening with GBT? In order to push the entrance into the European market, they call Pionix, they call the Everest Group. We will give you all the libraries, all the support. You just have to include it into your system. And we are doing that because make a connector work is a lot of work. A lot of protocols going back and forward, communication. It's quite complex. And they say, everything is open, everything is public. Let's audit this and let's include to ensure that we can grow. So automatically, all the software, all the charge station, we get the possibility to connect with GBT. Because we all know this, the problem that is hardware, IoT hardware, that never gets updated. We all face this problem. We all hear stories about botnet networks, and with the amount of charge station, this is a real problem. And this is why we are taking care of this. The EV industry plays a major role in cybersecurity because it's a lot of charge stations that are there, a lot of IoT devices, and no one is looking into that. And the only way to solve this problem is leveraging open source community. But this is the sticker that we give you from the Linux Foundation Energy. Basically, what we are looking forward is to one stack to chart them all. Simple. Full open. Community driving. Support and regulated by the Linux Foundation. Yes, Pionix is taking care, but Linux Foundation take it under their umbrella, and they say, look, we are going to take care of this to ensure that it's driven by a community, that there is no particular company try to take care. No, we trust in Linux Foundation Energy for this. And we are looking to create one stack to chart them all. It's not easy. It's not fast. There's a lot of big companies playing and saying, I can do it better. But slowly, and even I read a few days ago that even Tesla is moving now to start to use OCPP, open protocol, because they have to. They have to. They realize that in that moment, I take all the market and it's just mine, it's ending. We have to play with open source. We have to play with open protocols. Automotive industry was, and I like to say was, an NDA-driven market. I don't know if you ever work or play with the automotive industry. As soon as you sign an NDA, everything is full of secrecy, everything is complex, and everything is because we have a lot of money. Now it's changing, because now it's more complex. Before, one company created everything, and just saw small components, transistors, radios, some of this. Now there is a lot of software there, and so one has to take care of that. And if you don't open, if you don't know for the rest, you will lose the battle. Have you ever thinking why all these interfaces that you see in your cars are kind of similar? Because are open projects in the majority, based on an open project. All these new interfaces that you see in your EV cars, that you have these big screens, kind of similar if you look in detail. And it's because of that, because they are learning, look, we have to open. Because every week, we have new cars, and you have to test them. Because every vehicle has particularities, has necessities. And you have to say, okay, you want me to connect to all the markets, to all the players? I have to look into the open source solutions. I have to look into Everest. I have to look into how to communicate. Why I should have a Porsche Cayenne electric that costs $200,000 if I can only charge in my house? Really? And that, for a particular moment, happened. They correct quite fast. They have to update all the libraries and share with the community, Porsche. Because it was not working. It was literally not working. The owners were complaining, I have a vehicle that I can only use in my house. I cannot take a drive. Really? But the point of this talk is not just to tell you, hey, this is what we are doing, yeah. No, I don't care that. I don't look into that. The open source community is a really, really young community. In the EV industry, it's extremely young and it's extremely vibrant right now. But we need you. We need all of you to go and check. If you are an engineer that want to solve problems, there are many. If you're looking to create a business model, there are many. It's old projects, it's old companies that wants to play in a brand new and connected world. And believe me, we still have problems from legacy solutions. Remember what I told you before, that we deep apologize because we made mistakes. A secret, today, more than 95% of the charger station get the upload for the firmware via FTP. And I'm not talking SFTP. I'm talking about FTP. Because no one cared. Just one example. There is a lot of opportunities here. There's a lot of options that we have. Electrification, connected devices to the cloud, app store, sharing economy, regulators, geopolitics, AI. For sure, here we'll be here the next days. AI. But it's true, we have data. We have thousands of data. We have to use it. And it's there. Looking for someone to say, hey, I want to use that. I want to create my business model with that. I want to extend my company with that. EV industry is just waiting for you. Literally waiting. There's the data. There's the information. We can use it. And obviously, trying to create a carbon neutral environment. Because we are doing nothing if we just keep increasing the computational necessity. Then we know, yes, it's green, but the servers not necessarily are green. And that is also another part that needs a little bit of effort, and we are taking care of that. That is me. This is the EV, and this is the impact of the open source in the EV community. Thank you so much. Is there any question?
Maybe if you want to support these initiatives by the car companies, or maybe if you'd like to support these initiatives by some car companies, I'm sure some car companies are doing a good job in supporting open initiatives, and maybe some car companies are more maybe you want to name and shame the good ones or the bad ones.
I can tell you, obviously with some of them I have some NDAs that I can't share, but I'm happy to say that Toyota, Renault, Porsche, I'm doing an amazing effort into promote the open source community. Actually, I think Toyota and Renault, they are members of the Linux Foundation Energy. They are really pushing. They're really giving. Other companies, a little bit more complex, but yes, there are companies that are doing quite a good job.
So maybe check with the Linux Foundation of which car companies support the Linux Foundation.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is public. In the Linux Foundation Energy, you have the companies that are supporters, and there are a couple of them that actually are literally putting money on this. Literally putting money. And it's not a small amount of money. I can tell. It's not that small. Any other question? I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much. If you have any other question, I will be outside. I have more stickers if someone wants. In behalf of me and the Linux Foundation Energy, and Pionix, Everest, and S44, which is the owners of Citrine OS, thank you so much. I will enjoy. I hope you too.